evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call. It is Monday, June 15th, 2015, and we're excited that you have found time in your schedule to join us for this exciting and inspiring motivational call. This is your place for motivation and inspiration with the world's leading motivational speaker, author, trainer, and coach, Mr. Les Brown. Thank you to all of the new listeners who've tuned in for the first time to be a part of this experience as Les Brown continues to inspire voices of hope all over the globe. My name is Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant, and I have the privilege and the pleasure of being your host tonight and welcoming you to the family. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited, especially for those of you who've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks. You've heard from some of his platinum speakers give amazing messages, including myself, and we've had a great time. But tonight, you get to hear the leader himself, the person who's been traveling the globe, and I mean literally. If you were to look at his passport, it would probably make your head spin. He's been all over the globe, changing lives, inspiring lives, giving tools of success as he ignites and reminds everyone about the greatness that's inside of him. So without further ado, Mr. Les Brown, are you really live on the line tonight?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm just so excited to have you live. You've been traveling the globe. You've been doing so much amazing work. How does it feel to be back on U.S. soil?
I'm still trying to make the adjustment because I don't know what time zone that I'm in, and it's been quite an experience. I had an experience. I was in Australia, and because of the time change, I think that I developed a level of anxiety or anxiousness. And so they said Murphy's Law says that anything can happen at will at the worst possible moment. So I asked for a Xanax, and Xanax is a pill that helps you to calm your nerves and puts you to sleep. And so I was supposed to speak that afternoon, so I figured I could sleep for about 4 or 5 hours before they would call me to speak. And then a speaker that was scheduled to speak, a famous speaker, I don't want to call his name, they said he called and said he could not make it. And they asked me, would I do it? So I said, yes. Okay, I lied to you. I've taken this pill. So Dr. Julia said, Les, don't do it. Everybody and their brother. Because in the middle, pretty soon, this pill is going to kick in, and you will not be able to get through that speech. I said, if I'm standing, I'll get through it. Just give me the mic. And sure enough, Stacey, I don't know how I got through it, but I got through it, and did no one there know? My staff knew because they know me. And they know my energy level. Now, the next day when I spoke, I took no prisoners and ate the wounded. People were in a state of shock because they said it was two different Les Browns from the one they saw the day before and the one they saw when it was my time to speak and I wasn't covering from anybody and I didn't have a Xanax to tranquilize me, but I got through it. But I'll never do that again. But I can, one of the things that this trip did for me is when you have a message that appealed to people, and there's a universal message, I believe, that all people embrace, regardless of who they are, regardless of the culture. And that message is, I want more for my life. So when I spoke in Switzerland, the response was phenomenal. When I spoke in Poland, over 25,000 people were there with a translator. The response was phenomenal. When I spoke in Australia, the response was phenomenal. This is, I tell you, one of the things that I know about a dream, that when you pursue a dream and you work to master it, you have no idea where that dream is going to carry you. And I had no idea. When I think about my mother lived on 55th Terrace in Liberty City in Miami. And I started having classes in her living room, 5 people. I had no idea that it would lead to me speaking to over 25,000 people in Poland or 80,000 people here in the United States. Those of you that are listening, if you put in Les Brown, motivational speaker, Georgia Dome, then you'll see me speaking before 80,000 people. I had no idea. And I say this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that if there's a message in your heart, if there's a yearning for you to change people's lives, to be a difference in people's lives, act on that. I didn't do what I'm doing now for 14 years. I'm not proud of that because there are people who died who never got a chance to hear my voice, and they were a part of what I call my spiritual tribe. Tonight, I want to pay tribute to 2 individuals. Dr. Charles Phillips, who made his transition, and T. Wayne. Let me talk about T. Wayne. And I'm going to give a message from both of their lives. And I understand the 2 of you and Anita, spoke about these 2 individuals who were members of the Platinum Group. T. Wayne had a desire to train kids. He dressed like a carpenter in overalls. He had a truck that was built for that. He wanted to help kids to develop a skill in carpentry, but most importantly, learn how to communicate and to collaborate with other young people, to keep their minds focused on being productive. I think that T. Wayne knew that he's going to check out and that his time was up because he had an angst about him. He was always pushing hard. He reminded me of another speaker that I had who left here, what I thought, early. And because he and I had a few words just 2 weeks ago. And then when I got the word that he had passed, then I understood that he was working to get the work done because he loved children. He loved young people. And his goal was to transform young men's lives particularly and to teach them how to dress like professionals and teach them how to work together, teach them how to stay alive. These young people, they know how to die. They don't know how to stay alive, and teach them how to remain free. They know how to go to jail, and they don't understand that when you are incarcerated, that really locks you into a life of poverty. Society makes you pay over and over and over again. And he didn't get any grants. He didn't get any government support or parental support. T. Wayne, with the limited resources that he had, I went with him to his alma mater, the college that he went to, and he was just out there scraping and scuffling and doing what he could for our young people. And he is gone now. He and I both are cancer conquerors. He left us. But his work, my goal is to help keep his legacy alive and the passion that he had for young people. Dr. Charles Phillips was one of the people who joined the Platinum Speakers Training in the beginning. You heard me speak in Washington, D.C. years ago. And he was already a pastor, but he joined. And there was an eloquence about him when he spoke. He had this signature message about an eagle. He loved the message about the eagle and the transformation of what happened when an eagle was among some chickens. And it was his message that he loved, that he perfected and worked with it, and his voice. There's a quality about his voice when he spoke. It was a master storyteller that engaged you, that you were mesmerized by it. And he loved Miles Monroe. He was a person who believed in investing in himself. He went to all types of seminars with Miles Monroe and myself. He loved us. And he made his transitions. And one of the signature things that he said when he spoke, when he would come to the close of his presentation. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. And so these young men, one who had a passion for young people and who made his mark with many young people in Columbus, Ohio, and the other who had a passion for speaking in and out of ministry, these two men who decided to use their voice to give people a vision of themselves in the future have served their time. As I look at and been reflecting on the meaning of life, someone said, don't ask what is the meaning of life. Ask, what is the meaning of your life? That's what Viktor Frankl said. What is the meaning of your life? And to me, I was with my youngest son, Patrick, who came on the road with me recently. And I said, Patrick, out of nowhere, I said, do you know what I just came up with? He said, what, Dad? 3 things about life. I says, number 1, I say, we have a reason, we have a season, and we are to enjoy ourselves. He said, what are you talking about? I said, we have a reason for being born. We're here to create. God made us, but we create our lives. Everything that exists is a result of man's creation. Computers did not exist in the beginning. Air conditioning, hotels, airplanes, everything that's here that we see, man created. God made us, but we create our lives. We're here to create. We have a reason for being here, to do something major, to do something big. Herein my Father glorify, that ye bear much fruit, not little fruit, much fruit, not just fruit, but much fruit. We're here to do something big with our lives, son. We have a reason. And we have a season. We have a certain amount of time to get the work done. T. Wayne served his time. Charles Phillips served his time. T. Wayne gave his time and his energy to making a big impact with the lives of youth in Columbus, Ohio. And Dr. Phillips served his time in speaking in and out of the church to give people a larger vision of themselves. And they carved out time to enjoy themselves with the people they care about. And so when I look at my life now, and I believe even at 70, my best years are in front of me. Your best years are in front of you. See life in 3 categories. That you have a reason for being here. It's been said the 2 most important moments in our lives, the day that we are born and the day we realize why we're born. And we have a season. Aurelia said, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. Somebody said life is short, and then somebody else came along and said, no, life isn't short. It just takes most of us too long to start living. And enjoy yourself. What I realize, I'm a very happy person, and I don't find people laughing and enjoying themselves. And we have to carve that out. Many of us are very blessed and don't realize it. Don't realize it. This trip, I saw a lot of suffering. Suffering that took my breath away. That I ask, where's God? Where's God? Pain, poverty, and the suffering that I saw. You just look and the desperation that you see in people's eyes. When I was in certain countries. And you just feel so powerless. When I was in India, where certain parts of it, they have a caste system. And if you, in a family where you're a maid, your mother's a maid, then you'll be a maid. Caste system. I hugged a guy, his arms didn't raise to hug me back, and the guy said he's among the untouchables. I said, what? Does he have a disease? No. But did you a certain level of poverty that you're not to touch them and they're not to touch you, and if they did, you ought to bathe yourself. These are people who look just like each other, look like us, with fine, wavy hair. You really should travel. There are things that you should see, the beauty of Switzerland. Being in Poland, a young man who heard my voice when his mother perished in a fire, named Lucas, and he said, I'm going to bring you to Poland. And he packed a stadium. When I was going to the stadium, oh ye of little faith, I was saying, oh my God, I hope some people show up. Oh my God. Why would he start so big, his first event? Oh my God, how is he going to handle people not being here? And when they drove into the parking lot, and I saw the sea of cars and people streaming into the stadium, I was saying, oh my God. I was so happy for him. I was so grateful. And people who couldn't understand my language, but who said, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, tears come down your face.
Mm.
I tell you, being in these various places and traveling and being back, I wish, one thing I wish I had taken my children with me. I wish that they could have had that experience. I wish that our kids can go to places like India, to go to places like Johannesburg, South Africa, and really see poverty, see how much we take for granted, how much we just don't realize the blessings that God has given us. To take a warm shower, to have water, to have to not get up in the morning to go looking for water or to build a fire so you can find something that you can cook. Things to have a bed to lay in. Have a bed. That now it's to me. Somebody said, how you doing? I'm great and I'm grateful. I'm grateful I'm in America. I don't have to worry about bombs blowing up my house. I've got running water. Even if I don't have a job and sleeping on a bridge, I've got a chance to create something. That there are things that we are so blessed. Medical care. So blessed.
Absolutely. I just have to jump in on that when you said blessed, because can I just tell you that you have inspired people from all over the globe to even tune into this call, Les, to appreciate what you're speaking of, and that living and understanding the reason, the season, and enjoying ourselves. Do you know that your words have inspired one of our callers all the way from Israel who calls in at this time, less at 4 a.m. in the morning, dealing with Crohn's disease, but hearing your voice, hearing the messages every Monday night. Give him hope, give him promise, give him the ability to dream and write the book that he's working on and share his story, all
Yes,
because of what you're doing.
and I'm so familiar with him, and I'm going to write the foreword to that book. I make sure you get his information for me. I'm going to write the foreword. I've been in Israel. I spent time along with my daughter Ona in the Dead Sea at the King David Hotel. I had an incredible experience being in Israel. It's incredible experience. The things that I saw, where John the Baptist was baptized, where Jesus was born, that part of the world, the history there, there's a richness, and there's something that you can see there and feel there that you don't get anyplace else. And one of the things, him being on the phone, is an illustration, Stacy. All of us have a tribe. All of us. One of the reasons that I'm doing the speaker training in September is that there are people that will respond to my voice, and there are people who will respond to your voice. But there are people who are going to respond to the voices of people that are listening now. And those people in their tribe will not hear them just in their ears, but they will hear them in their heart. And I want you to get his email, because I'm going to send him some links to some additional things that I want him to hear. But in final tribute to T. Wayne and Dr. Phillips, T. Wayne, who always serious, had this angst about him, this energy about him. He was determined to make a difference in the lives of kids. We thank him for his life and for his contribution. Always dressed in overalls like a carpenter, no matter what the occasion. But he wanted his dressing style to make an impact. So people would ask, why are you dressed like that? Dr. Phillips, who was a sponge, who always was learning all that he could from me, from Miles, and anybody else. Extremely knowledgeable man. Very kind person, both of them. Kind spirits. We thank him for his life, for his love, for his commitment, for how he lived his life, for his ministry. We're very thankful for these two men. Their time is up, but I'm sure they thank us for our time that we were able to spend with them. Now, I'd like for you to ask me some questions, Stacy.
Absolutely. One of the things that you said, Les, which really, I want to go back to the beginning of tonight's call when you talked about the fact that you took that Xanax and everybody told you not to hit the stage because you didn't know what it would do to you. But there's a power in doing what you've been called to do. And there have been callers who've been on, listening, hearing, and they're still unsure, Les, about how to stay in that authentic space, how to still live their dreams when things are going wrong or the bank account is not adding up and the relationships might not be right. But you stood in your authentic space. You knew that you would still be able to speak once that microphone was in your hand. What would you say to the callers tonight who are still on the fence of believing that they have what it takes? It might not be a Xanax pill, but it might be something else in their life that everyone is telling them that they won't be able to perform because it's in their way.
And that it will put them to sleep. And let me tell you what will put you to sleep. Weapons of mass distractions. What will put you to sleep to your dream and your calling in life? Someone building a very strong, practical, logical case on why you can't have your dream. Something else that will put you to sleep on your dream is listening to the voice within yourself that's practical, that's logical, that's realistic. Les Brown, You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you don't have four-color brochures. Les Brown, you don't have the contacts. You have never worked for a major corporation. You don't know how to do the work that you're coming in to motivate people to do. You're charging $1,000 an hour, and you're not making $1,000 a week, and you never have. And so those words, the external and the internal, there's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. That those inner words kept me on the sideline, kept me on the bench for 14 years. For 14 years. The same man who stepped into a stadium and 20,000 people stood up and gave me a standing ovation. The same man who spoke for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, the same man that's doing a training for DirecTV in a couple of weeks, and Brian Buffini Corporation, same person, and earned more in 1 hour than it takes for the average American in the Western world to earn working for 7 years. And I'm saying to you that there are several P's that's important. Number one is persistence. I kept coming back again and again and again. Never stop. Just keep coming back. Look for ways to win. There's a Jewish saying, look for beauty in the cracks. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have failures. You're going to have people who say, you can count on me, I will be there. You have people who should be there to encourage you, and they won't. Things are going to happen that you can't anticipate. I thought my friend Boo would be here, that we would grow to be old men together. He's gone. Boo died waiting on a liver transplant. One of the most beautiful people in the world. If I brought Boo to your house, he would find something to fix the garage door, your car. He was just that kind of person. He's gone. My mother, Mama, gone. Breast cancer, gone. Things are going to happen all around you. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. But the key is persistence. Keep moving. It's part of the process. It's part of life. Cry if you must. Pray if you must. But keep moving. Don't stop. Keep moving. Crawl. Push forward. I slept in my car. I slept on friends' couches. I never stopped. Next thing is perseverance. Things are going to happen in life that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. Life is full of pain. It's full of pain. And so when we're told, think it not strange that you will face the fiery furnaces of this world. Think it not strange that you will have defeats, that you will have disappointments, that you might go through a divorce, somebody that you said, I do with, and you thought would be with you for the rest of your life. Or your children that you've sacrificed and given your best to, and that they disrespect you and have no value for what you've done for them. It's painful. It's painful. It hurts, and there's no words that can address that. Relatives, friends, who just for some reason turn against you. Jealousy, envy, or just things just blow up in your face. I remember I went to an engagement, and I got there, and they told me to go to the back of the theater early on. And I said, hi, my name is Les Brown. And the guy said, you're not the band leader? I said, no, I'm not. And he closed the door.
Mm.
And I knocked on the door, and he didn't answer. And I went round the front, and they had up front Les Brown. And then I saw the album covers of the white band leader. And I realized they thought I was a band leader. And so I had to leave. It's crushing. It was a crushing experience. I've had, and the most crushing experience, the most painful experience as a speaker was from the African American National Speakers Association. They humiliated me so badly, I cried like a baby because they embarrassed one of my speakers because they were with me. And I cried like a baby. It was the first experience that I cried. First experience of being humiliated and embarrassed. And what made it so painful was the African American National Speakers Association, who was jealous of my accomplishments, who I came and said, can I help you? I'd like to volunteer. Ask me whatever questions you would like to ask me. I'm available to you. And they said, no, we don't want you to provide any advice to us. We're fine. Willie Jolly was there. He was sitting in the room. He saw it. And they asked me to leave. That was the most embarrassing moment, most humiliating in my life as a speaker that I've ever experienced. No one has ever treated me like that, and I wasn't accustomed to that. People from all walks of life have embraced me and my message, and I could not understand it. It caught me off guard, but that what I realized, when you have dreams, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen to you. And who you become as you push forward, as you're willing to persist and persevere, it develops a spiritual part of you. It introduces you a part of yourself that you would not know otherwise. I don't even know my parents' name. I'm adopted. And when I think about the poverty that I came up through under a system, the government had laws to hold people who look like me back. And I was still able to come through and to share with people the methods and the techniques that I've learned. I remember a song by Aretha Franklin, How I Got Over. How I got over. Sometimes I look back and I wonder how I got over. Everybody, I want you to write this down. And Stacy, this is a speaker's dream. It's called Periscope. 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 And this, you can every day, people can see you or can see me live if we come on. It's really exciting. Right now, just if you have a passion for making a difference in people's lives, this is a tool that will allow you to do that. You talk to people around the world. Periscope, Periscope. P as in Peter, Eriscope. Download the app and I'm going to be on there very shortly, and then indicate to me saying, Les, I was on your call, and I'll be able to see. Let me get my glasses and let me get my mascara to cover my gray right quick before I come home. You
Well,
got anything else to ask me? I done forgot the question.
you
What
went
other
on a
question?
roll. I know when to let the master share, and I think you shared quite a bit tonight, and the callers are just so excited to hear your voice, and as you spoke about how you kept the faith, how you used, the persistence and the perseverance and understanding the weapons of mass distraction. What I would love for you to share before we close out, and if you have enough time to maybe listen to one or two callers who for the first time are hearing your voice tonight because they've been listening to myself and Anita and the Platinums, but they wanted to just tell you how much they love you themselves directly. We'll do that for
All
2
right, well,
minutes.
let me just say to you and Anita, thank you so much. Because to me, real leadership is preparing for people to replace you. And your skills, your knowledge, your growth has been phenomenal. One of the things that I am determined to do, every country that I spoke in, every stage that I went on, it was all headlined by men. There were no women. And I said to my promoter in Switzerland and Poland and Australia, I said, there's some women who can speak too. And I will introduce you to them. In South Africa, there are no women out here. And so, and you have no idea of the women who, when you speak, that will just hold on to your words, that will make a difference. There are things, how a woman is seen and treated in America is different than other countries. Different. Different. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's parts of India where if a father says to a guy, I want you to marry your son to marry my daughter, and she takes him a dowry, and the dowry doesn't have enough money, then that family has the power to throw gasoline on her and burn her to death. Oh, it's just stuff. And there are parts of Africa where men rape babies, because they believe ignorantly they won't get AIDS. That when I was in South Africa and Nigeria, they had signs, don't beat your wife, and then the subtitle said, during the day because it will disturb the neighbors. It was, in the night it would disturb the neighbors. Beat her during the day so her yells and screams would not wake the neighbors up. And there were signs in South Africa for 15 days. Let's not rape, molest, and abuse women and children.
Wow.
That people who do volunteer work and different parts there have a rape kit that they're given because they are guaranteed to be raped. And so this kit is for them not to get pregnant. I'm talking about stuff that barbaric, senseless, inhumane stuff that boggles the imagination.
Wow.
Boggles the imagination. You just say, whoa, oh my God, who would harm children like this? Who would harm women like this? And I believe that we're here to reduce this pain and this misery and this poverty. We're here to reduce this brutality and this abuse. We're here to reduce the rape and the disrespect and dehumanizing of women. We're here to create a sense of humanity. We're here to eliminate this insanity. We're here for that God has chosen us. We're chosen out of 400 million sperm. We're chosen to do a work. To do a work. So every day when I get up, my prayer is, use me, God. Use me for your good. Use my voice. Use my voice to awaken people, to expand minds. A young man who used to be involved, I'll be talking with him this evening, in sex trade. He was part of a group of other men who would rape and kidnap young girls and sell them. And somebody gave him one of my cassette tapes, and he heard my voice. And he said there was something in him that said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And he stopped. He stopped. And we're in communication. I'm helping him to get his life together. He stopped. He stopped. He said, I just can't do this anymore. Something that I said that spoke to the humane part of him. I believe, Stacy, we all have the capacity to do that. I really do.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And once again, Les, on behalf of myself and all of the Platinums who have the privilege of working with you, we say thank you for not waiting one more year, one more moment to stand in your purpose, to use your voice, to show us by example what it means to save lives. Because as you said, we don't know who's listening, whose life could be changed just by the words that we speak. I had a similar moment, Les, that I got a phone call from a gentleman who was at a program I did years ago, and he came across one of the products that I sold at the event, and he said he put it in, and it was a moment that felt like his life was being saved because he was so low and in a depression, and it broke him out, and he reached out to say, please send more, and how can I enroll? I was in shock, Les. That hadn't happened to me recently, to know that someone years ago was able to find something that I actually produced and share with the world, and it was able to save and nurture them in that moment. All I could think about was what you tell us all the time, that we have to get our message out, that we have to share our story, that we have to document what we're doing because we never know whose heart it will land in.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank the people that's on the call tonight. I know there are people who've been holding who want to ask me a question. I'll take two of those, then we have to get ready for the platinum call. But for all of you that are listening, how many people do you have? Can you see how many people are listening?
I will pull that up right now, but Les, I want to let them know about the training that we have coming up September 18th and 19th in Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
So for those who actually want to be a part of that event, they can log on to www.lesbrown.com to get more information, or they can call.
Sign up right away.
They can sign up right away, and they can also call 954-724-0900. That's 954-724-0900. And if you are interested in seeing Les live in Dallas, you can give me a call or send an email to info@stacyncgrant.com. He'll be down there for a conference. Limited time engagement. He will be in Dallas. There are a few folks on the call from Dallas, Les, and they might have a chance to meet you there. So you can email me at info@stacyncgrant, STACIENC, like North Carolina, Grant, GRANT.com. And we will be having a great time sharing the stage there. So stand by, everyone. I'm going to put the call in Q&A mode, and you'll be able to ask a question or give a comment. We can only take 2 or so callers because we have another call, but stand by, everyone.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, press *6 to unmute your line, and please tell us your name, and you can go ahead with your question and or comment for Mr. Brown.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go right ahead.
Hi, hello, Mr. Brown. My name is Melvin Daly. I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia. I am honored to be on the call with you. I saw you on your Periscope, and I look forward to getting more of your information.
Thank you very kindly. What city are you in?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay, very good. My daughter lives there. Mona, fantastic. She has the radio show on Sunday nights there. Okay, well, we look forward to
Okay, and you can mute your
communicating with you.
line.
I've got to figure out what time zone I'm in.
If you can mute your line back because we can hear the background now. It sounds like you're outside.
You know what? Listen, Stacey,
All callers are muted.
because of that and because of the time
Yes.
zone that I'm in, I don't know where I am right now. We're going to promote real big for next week. I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow to go to celebrate the life of Dr. Phillips in Washington, D.C. I'll be there for his celebration Wednesday morning. And I took a hit emotionally. These are two very good friends of mine that we have lost their participation and their visibility in doing the work that we do. And so I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you once again for the work that you've been doing, and Nita Boo, and all the other platinum speakers that you brought on. I'm just grateful that God is using us in a special way. Words are very powerful. In the beginning was the Word. Nothing happens until it's spoken. So thank you, love you, and appreciate you. And I'll see you on the Platinum Call, okay?
Absolutely. Love you more. And
Yeah.
thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, you can check out Les Brown at lesbrown.com. You can also visit him on his Facebook page. That's brown.les, brown.les. You can tune in there to get information.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Periscope.
Yes, and I downloaded it already. Download Periscope in the App Store or Google App Store. It's both on the Android system and as well as the Apple system. So that's Periscope, Periscope. And you can also find Mr. Brown on YouTube and tune in to the videos that he has posted there. So this has been an amazing evening. Welcome again to all of you first-time callers. We look forward to having you back again. And for all of our faithful listeners, thank you for being a part of this community. You go out now and inspire and help change this world by changing one life at a time. This is Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant wishing you an awesome and an incredible life. Bye for now. Love you, Les.